Well, the lighting's made no difference, but here we are back at Matchroom HQ with the man himself, the chairman. Well,
You're not happy with the lighting?
well, it's because I'd like to see your pretty face on camera.
You got a light.
Yeah.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Go here then.
Oh, okay.
Boys, we're going to...
Keen footballer as well. Who knew? And I didn't know you had legs as well, Eddie.
Yeah.
So I've seen you boxing for the drip.
Yeah.
And now I've seen you putting your leg up for football. Is there anything that you can't do except for beat Frank Warren?
Everything. Just looking at a penalty here that I took against Frank Smith.
Yeah, I saw it. It went straight in.
But yeah, all brawn, no ability.
Listen, speaking about ability, thank you. First of all, Manners, thank you very much for putting on the 5v5 with Frank Warren. Yeah, there's always going to be a loser. I didn't realise it was going to be that severe, but thank you for entertaining us because they were all good fights.
Yeah, the response that we've had has definitely softened the blow of the scoreline. You know, I think one of the most enjoyable events I've been a part of. You know, the numbers were great. Everybody loved it. We wanted to win really badly, gutted for my fighters, but looking forward to the next one. You know, already planning revenge. And yeah, it was a brilliant night.
The way you even sealed it off on the aeroplane, I saw that video with yourself and Frank, that banter, and he kept on mentioning 5, everything was 5. That relationship with you two, a couple of people said, no, it's fake, I don't believe it. But I can see that you've got a bit of respect for Frank.
At the end of the day, there's nothing fake about it. We're too long in the teeth to fake something. Like if we didn't get on, you just wouldn't really see us together. We'd just shake hands and get on with it. But we're enjoying our jobs at the moment. Like I think it's the most enjoyable period I've had in boxing promotion. I know he feels the same as well. And His Excellency brought us together to a point where he made us shake hands and say, stop it, get on with it. And when we first met, we shook hands on the basis that forget about the past, but get on with it. We don't have to be friends, but just stop the other stuff. But as the relationship's developed, we've enjoyed what we've been doing and we've been enjoyed working together. And you know, I think that's probably why he didn't needle me too much after, because we don't want to go back there. Like, and, you know, I would have probably gloated a little bit more than him, but not to him and not taking pot. Yeah, like, he gave me stick, you know, and he was like all night, fucking yes. But it's not like, yeah, Hearn. Like, it's just, look, we got, after the fight, we're at His Excellency's, we're making fights, we're discussing the next one. So we just, you know, we're enjoying what we're doing. And, yeah, you know, and as far as the video goes on the play, like, you got to be able to take the piss out of yourself. Like, I know I'll give it the big one. You know, people are playing it back. Watch this one from Hearn on the Thursday. I'm saying we're going to smash you everywhere. I'm a promoter. That's what I do. But when it doesn't go my way, I don't expect everyone to just go, oh, unlucky, Eddie. You got to give me a little bit of stick as well. So it's all part and parcel of the job. And, you know, like I said, I never take myself too seriously. But we love the show. We love the event. And looking forward to planning the next one.
When you're sat there ringside and your fighters are coming out, look, it's usually a matchroom show. There's usually a matchroom fighter, maybe somebody not a matchroom fighter or a matchroom fighter. You're sat next to a rival promoter. Talk to us a little bit about that pressure that's on, because you really want to win. You're competitive. We know this.
Every fight always means something, but on that night, it just meant a little bit more. Yeah. So, like, you know, Craig against Willie Hutchinson felt like, for me, like a unified world heavyweight title fight. That's how, that's, you know, it wasn't a massive fight, but on that night, under that kind of concept, it was a massive fight. So, you know, when he lost, I was gutted because I believed he'd win. And then I thought Ray edged it. But then we didn't get the rubber to green in that decision. It was like, fuck. Then Ammo was up against it. Then it was 3-0. And I'm thinking, don't worry, because I know Hrgovic is going to win by knockout. He gets beat, and then it's just like, fuck. And then Wilder gets chinned, and it's like, fucking hell. I mean, what's going on here? But, you know, the odds, I think it's like 50-1 was the accumulator of all 5 winning for them. So, yeah, unlikely to happen, but unfortunately, it happened.
Hell yeah.
Lessons learned, because I was sat there and I was thinking, hold on a minute, what's your dad going to say? Because remember, even though, it's father and son, he's got very different opinions. He's more strict, he's more old school. And I was thinking, what's his dad going to say to him?
All week he was like, oh, we better win. And then, you know, the texts were coming through in a Craig Richards fight. And then, you know, he fought Ray Ford, won it. And then that went our way, and he was like, "For fuck's sake, that's a joke," you know. And then we lost the third one, and then he just went quiet. So
Really?
yeah, he messaged me on I woke up to a message from him on Sunday saying like, "Well, son, get your one-liners ready. You're going to need them. You're going to get a week of stick, and if anyone can handle it, it's you. So good luck," you know. So it is what it is. Like, you know, we wanted to win, but we provided great opportunities for our fighters. We made money. It was an amazing event. Life's good.
I spoke to Frank earlier, and it was about the selection of fights because Matchroom is more global. You've got a lot of foreign fighters, American fighters, compared to Frank had more British fighters. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, and I know you talk about the potential. I've heard you say in previous interviews you needed those to be like 50-50 fights. Eddie, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way, do you feel that you need to probably focus a little bit more on your British talent?
Not really, because the focus was on making them 50-50 fights. Like, you know, there's certain fighters that we've got in the division, I don't know, could be like 140 pound, right? Where we've got Jack Catterall, we've got Dalton Smith. Well, they would be massive favourites against, you know, good young fighters like Henry Turner or their Irish fighter, Pierce O'Leary or someone like that, where like they might think they've got a chance of winning those fights, but we're a massive favourite going into those fights. Other British fighters, you know, he may have, you know, fighters that are big favourites against our guys, but that wasn't the essence of the competition. The essence was, what are 50-50 fights? Like, we want Nick Ball to fight. Who have you got? Well, I've got the world champion. That's a great fight, so let's do that. So, but you know, I think if we do one in England, there would be more of a focus on the British element of our stable.
Daniel Dubois,
Yeah.
I thought that he'd possibly win against Hrgovic, and there was a part of me I was really happy for him because I know he's had a lot of stick. Everyone's doubted him because, you know, he's took a knee, etc., all of that. So there's a bit of like heartwarmingness to see him win. Commiserations to obviously Hrgovic. Yeah. Anthony Joshua was sat ringside. We've heard Wembley, we've heard September, we heard it was going to be Hrgovic. Is there anything that you can elaborate on that?
Firstly, Daniel did great. You know, I didn't think he'd win. I thought Hrgovic would win. I thought he was physically didn't just look to have that presence in there. And Daniel just steamrolled him, was very brave, and you know all the things that he's been criticised about in the past, he overcome. In terms of AJ's next opponent, nothing decided yet, but you know, it's probably a list of 3 or 4, and Daniel's definitely on it. You know, and if that fight's going to be for the world heavyweight title, then he would be a front runner. So we'll have to see what plays out with the IBF, and there's a press conference on the 26th of June, and that's when they'll be officially announced.
Your thoughts on obviously choosing Deontay Wilder? Fair enough, he got knocked out. Commiserations to him as well. We look at his career, we look at the 3 fights that he's had with Fury, obviously come back with Hellenius, he went against Joseph Parker, and then finally Zhilei Zhang. As a promoter, you've seen all of this, you've seen what happens to fighters. What is the best thing for Deontay Wilder to do?
I think if he wants to perform at top level for big money, he should retire. But at the same time, like, because that's not available anymore. But it's an individual. Like, I don't think he should be told to retire. It's his decision. He can fight for another 2 years, but at a level that he probably doesn't want to fight at. You know, because I don't think he's the same fighter that he once was and doesn't have that same confidence. So he's done incredibly well in his career. You know, he won the world heavyweight title. He, you know, lit up the division for a little bit. Hugely exciting. Gave us some great fights with Fury. So he's in a good spot. And sometimes it's time, but it's really down to the individual to decide that.
Learning lessons, and what have you learned from working, you know, with another promoter, doing that dual partnership, as it were, and giving us British fans great fights? What's been the biggest learning for you, Eddie?
Maybe that we should have done it earlier, you know, but we've been competitive and we've both pushed British boxing on, you know. Nothing really. I think that perception's not always correct, you know. I think for both of us, I think we've actually realised that the other person's all right, actually, and probably for years we thought, fucking, this person was, you know, whatever. But the world is better when you get along, you know. So maybe people can take a lesson from myself and Frank's blossoming relationship.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Alan Babic, Johnny Fisher, That is a good fight. It's nice to see Fisher back out, but it's also good to see Babic make a return and come back and fight on a matchroom card where he kind of like started his career. Talk to us about that fight and the matchmaking and the strategy around that, because we noticed that, I'd say within the last, well, since Tom Dallas joined you, your matchmaking has been really good.
Yeah, I think that it's important, you know, the matchmaking. I think it's always been done mainly by me because I've got a love for boxing and I think I know and understand the sport well. Tom Dallas is an excellent matchmaker. Kevin Rooney as well in America is doing a great job in America. But they work closely together, you know, and it's about bringing fighters through, testing them against the right kind of opposition. And I think this is the right fight for Johnny Fisher. I do think it's a tough fight, but good. You know, he's had his education, he's had his experience of being involved in big shows, and now he wants the headline, and this is the perfect fight to do it. Huge crowd, huge test, and looking forward to July 6th.
What's the roadmap for Johnny Fisher? We've got the English champion, British champion.
And then probably fight the winner of Dakers against Adelaide, and then fight the winner of Fabio against Fraser Clark. You know, Johnny's going to do 7,000 in the copper box for this one. If he fights Fabio or Fraser, he'll do the O2. So, you know, looking forward to it, and let's see him get through this one first.
And finally, how many more shows? We are quite greedy. I mean, we've had a lot. We've had a stomach full, but we do love to see these fights announced. How many more cards are you going to be putting on this year, Eddie?
Big one to announce in August for the UK. Obviously, coming up, we got Puerto Rico next week, Birmingham, your neck of the woods, Phoenix the week after, London the week after that, Philadelphia the week after that. 2 weeks off, 2027. And then August 3rd, we're in LA for the big Riyadh season card. August 24th, we'll have a UK show, which we'll announce soon. And August 17th, we'll have another big international show, which we'll announce soon. So pretty much rammed, really, and on we go.
We love it. Thank you once again for keeping us boxing fans entertained. And yeah, the invite to the garden once again.
Thanks for coming.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.